Hello, my name is Keshwani. That's K-E-S-H-W-A-N-I, Keshwani. We are here because we want to prepare for the GMAT. We have been solving GMAT math problems out of this book here, GMAT Review, the official guide, the 13th edition. If you do not own this book already, purchase one immediately. You're going to need it. The problem that we are about to solve is the one that you will find on page number 285. Please turn to page 285, problem number 119. The penultimate problem on the page, the second to the last problem on the page. We are told that PQR is a semicircle. So let's draw the arc. PQR. We are told that it is a semicircle. And the question simply is, what is this distance from P to R? What is that distance from P to R? What else we are told here? So here's your... Oh man, that did not come out very nicely. This straight line obviously. There we go. And here's our triangle. This distance we are told is 2. We are told that this is a right angle. They do not give this point a name. We're going to give it a name. Let's call it S. Let's call it point S. We are told that this distance from P to S, we are told is A. We are told that this distance from S to R is B. And what else are we told? And PQR. That's all. The question simply is, what is the length of the diameter P to R? That's all it is. Let's see what they tell us. In the first statement they tell us that A equals to 4. A equals to 4. Alright, fine. A equals to 4. Now if we can somehow figure out what B equals to, we are home free because A plus B is the diameter. Somehow, some way we have to figure out B. Now what's going to happen here is that in order to figure out the value of the B, we're going to have to deal with 3 different triangles. Okay, let's go through all of these 3 triangles one by one so that we understand what's going on here. But before we go through the 3 different triangles, I want to make sure that you understand this one most important, most fundamental concept of circles and a triangle inscribed in a circle, which is this part. If you have any circle at all, and if you were to take a diameter, okay, I'm going to draw several of them. This angle right, this triangle right here, this triangle right here, this triangle right here, they all make 90-degree angle. That is just the fact of life. That is just the fact of nature. It is an axiom. What is an axiom? An axiom is something that is true by definition. An axiom is where one does not need to prove it. This is something. Of course, I'm not sure if it's an axiom or not, but it is a fact. And diameter does not have to be flat here. We could have drawn diameter anywhere we wanted. We could have drawn diameter anywhere we wanted. And if we were to draw a triangle, like this is the right angle, this is the right angle, this is the right angle, this is the right angle. They are all right angles. Therefore, this is 90 degrees. Even though they do not mention that fact anywhere in the picture there, they just assume that you would know it. This is a 90-degree angle. This angle is 90 degrees. It is a very important, it is a very crucial fact. We need that, otherwise we will not be able to solve this problem at all. If we were to remove that fact that this is a 90 degree, we will not be able to solve it. Okay, let's begin. There are 3 triangles we will deal with. There are 3 triangles we will deal with. First, the triangle PQS. And this S part is something we're giving it a name. It doesn't exist in the book. Then we'll deal with the triangle SQR. And finally, the bigger triangle, which is PQR. We're going to have to make use of all of these 3 triangles to figure out the value of B. So let's begin. Enough of the talk. In triangle PQS, the very first one, in triangle PQS, PQS is the right angle triangle. and this is the hypotenuse. Let's call it x. So x squared would equal to 2 squared plus the base, which is a squared. But of course we know from the first statement that a is 4. So 2 squared plus 4 squared, which gives you 20. Similarly, in triangle SQR, our hypotenuse will be Q to R. Let's call it Y. Y is our Q to R, which is the hypotenuse. And here, y squared would equal to 2 squared plus the b squared. So far so good. Now the large triangle. Now the large triangle PQR. In the triangle PQR, in the large triangle PQR, PR is our hypotenuse, because it is facing the 90 degree. You see this fact comes into play here. This is 90 degrees, and therefore P to R is our hypotenuse, which is made up of A plus B. And our two sides are going to be X and Y. Therefore, A plus B squared, which is the hypotenuse squared, would have to equal X squared plus Y squared. But we know what X squared and Y squared are. X squared is 20 and Y squared is this quantity. So we're going to substitute them here. X squared is 20 and Y squared is 2 squared plus B squared. Let's open this part here. So we get here A squared plus 2AB plus B squared. A squared plus 2AB plus B squared. B squared appears on both sides of the equation. If you were to subtract the B squared from both sides, the B squared will drop out, and you'll end up with, we know how much A squared is. We are told A is 16. A squared will be 16, so I'm going to put 16 here. A squared is 16. And therefore 2AB, 2 times A times B would be 20 plus 4 minus 16. 20 plus 4 is 24 minus 16. 24 minus 16 is 8. So 2AB equals 8 and AB equals 4. And A, of course, let's continue this here. AB equals 4 and A, we are told, is 4. A is 4, therefore B equals 4 over A over 4 over 4, which is just 1. Voila, that's it. And B is 1, therefore A plus B is 1. Now, you understand and you realize that all of these things here, we didn't actually have to do that. We just have to be, in the exam, you just have to be quick enough to process the steps in your mind to be able to see whether you have, believe it or not, sufficient data. Nobody's asking us to do anything, and we did have sufficient data. Here's how you would explain to somebody. Here's how you would explain to somebody in a cogent manner. We know what A is. A is 4, we are told. We know this side is 2, therefore we can figure out the x. Here, this is 2. This is y squared. This is b. B is what we have to figure out here. So y squared is going to be the only unknown. When we look at the bigger triangle here, when we look at the bigger triangle, we have A plus B, which is this guy right here. Again, B is going to appear, this is a 4, and B is going to appear again here. And the y square would have B in it, and those B's are going to, B squared are going to drop out. We'll have the product of A and B. I'm not sure if people are able to, I'm not sure if some people will be able to see this thing without actually having to do it out. But anyway, it can be done. It doesn't take that long. It only takes a few seconds. So that's it. B is 1. A couple of minutes at the most, obviously, but 2 minutes all you have for the entire question. B is 1, therefore we can figure out the diameter, because this is 4 and this is 1, therefore the diameter is 5. The first statement by itself does the job. The first statement by itself is sufficient. Because the first statement by itself is enough, AD, BCE. Because the first statement by itself is enough, therefore answer cannot be B, C or E, it will have to be either A or a D. There's 2 second statement. Now listen, before I forget completely, I put down these words there, and if I don't take care of them, I'll completely forget about them. Let's learn these words. The first, axiom. Axiom means something that is true by definition. Axiom is something that does not require proof. For example, if somebody were to ask you how many seconds in a minute, there are 60 seconds in a minute. Why? Because that is how we define our universe. The adjective for axiom would be axiomatic. If somebody were to ask you why, prove it, they say, prove it that there are 60 seconds in a minute. So I don't need to, it's axiomatic. Axiom, I believe we learned it. There you go, day number 38. So what I was saying is that if you had to explain to somebody in a cogent manner as to, I forgot now what it is that we were trying to explain here. Cogent simply means to be persuasive, to be convincing. The noun of cogent is cogency. Somebody who is explaining something in a cogent manner, somebody who makes a cogent argument, a persuasive argument, a convincing argument, that person is said to have cogency, which is a noun. And we learned that word cogent on day number, I know we learned it, I'm looking at my list here, day number 7. And finally, the very last word, I don't know if I used it or not, it came to my mind, I may have used it when we started this problem in the very beginning. I said this is problem number 119, the penultimate problem on the page. The penultimate problem on the page. Penultimate simply means second to the last problem. That's 2 second statement, okay? If you're interested in learning any of these words, as I said, just type in this tag, just type in vocabulary, day 38, or vocabulary day number 7, or day number 11, along with my name, and you'll find it. In the second statement, they tell us that B equals 1. Let's see what we can do with it. Since we are starting a second statement, we have to erase everything here. Actually, we only have to erase this part. A is the unknown quantity, B, we are told, is 1. Again, in the real exam, once you spend the time and once you invest the time doing the first statement, you should immediately realize that working on the second statement is no different. It is the exact same process, exact same procedure, exact same steps, nothing different. Exact same 3 triangles that we'll deal with. Triangle PQS, QSQR, and finally PQR, the large one. So let's get going. In triangle PQS, just like before, the hypotenuse is x, this side is 2 squared plus, except this side we do not know, a squared. That's our first one. In triangle SQR, the hypotenuse is y squared, this side is 2, and b is 1. So y squared is 5. Finally, in triangle PQR, again P to R is the hypotenuse, which equals a plus b. So therefore, this side, the hypotenuse, because it's facing 90 degrees, a plus b whole squared would have to equal x squared plus the y squared. X squared we know is 2 squared plus a squared. Y squared we know is 5. And therefore, if we open the parentheses here, we get a squared plus 2ab plus b squared, and a squared is going to drop out. And b we know is 1. I did this last time also. B is 1, so this is b squared is just 1 squared. That's it, we're done. You see, we're going to find the value of a times b, and once we know what the value of a times b is, since we know the b, we can figure out the a. So 2ab equals 4 plus 5, which is 9, minus 1, which is 8. Just like before, 2ab equals 8, and therefore ab equals 4, and we know that b is equal to 1, therefore a is going to be 4 over b, which is 4 over 1, which is 4. Of course, the value of a should not change. In the first statement, they already told us that a equals 4. Therefore, when we do the work on the second statement, if we arrive at any different value of a other than 4, then something has gone wrong. The values have to be the same. That's it, we know the diameter. So second statement by itself is also enough. And therefore the answer is D. The answer is D. Each statement by itself is enough. That's all. I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Bye now.